You sent a message, then watched the room become quieter around it. The phone stayed lit, but no one arrived inside that little square of light. Nothing happened, and somehow that was the painful part. An empty reply can feel less like silence and more like a kind of danger. Because for most of human history, being ignored was never only emotional. Today, the danger can fit on a table inside a phone you keep checking. It follows you into elevators, offices, cafes, hallways, and the dark window of a train. The strange part is that no reply is not a thing, it is an absence. But the body does not always treat absence as empty. It can treat silence as information, and information as a possible threat. A blank message bubble becomes a tiny room where another person should have appeared. And the empty chair becomes the shape of someone withholding presence. To understand that feeling, we have to imagine a much older kind of silence. For much of human life, the group was not just company, it was shelter. Outside the circle of firelight, a human body was more exposed to cold, hunger, and danger. Exile was not only loneliness in many worlds, it could become a survival problem. We should be careful not to pretend every ancient society felt this in the same way. But the basic fact remains, humans depended on other humans with unusual intensity. Food, protection, knowledge, warmth, care, and memory often lived inside the group. To be pushed outside that circle was to lose more than conversation. It was to lose a place in the pattern that made life possible. That is why silence can feel larger than silence. A distant group, a dark doorway, a fading fire, these are old images of being left out. The modern phone is not an ancient campfire, but it can borrow the feeling of one. When it does not answer, the old question returns in a new shape. Researchers have suggested that social exclusion can feel like a form of pain. This does not mean every ignored message injures everyone in the same way. It means social belonging is not a luxury added onto human life. It is part of how many people regulate safety, identity, and emotional ground. When the phone stays quiet, uncertainty starts doing work. Did they forget, avoid, punish, leave, misunderstand, or simply become busy? The mind may search for danger because unanswered silence contains too many possible stories. Attachment can make this uncertainty sharper, especially when the person matters. Again, this is not a diagnosis. It is a way to understand why waiting can tighten the body. The absence of a response becomes a loop. Check, imagine, wait, check again. That loop can make a small screen feel bigger than the room around it. The phone, the chair, and the body form a triangle of waiting. And inside that triangle, silence begins to feel like a message. Older forms of waiting were slower, but they were not necessarily easier. A person could wait at a doorway, a shared table, or the edge of a path. A missing seat in a group could say something before anyone spoke. Across time, humans invented new ways to be absent from each other. Letters could fail to arrive, calls could go unanswered, doors could stay closed. Each technology changed the speed, but not the ache of uncertain recognition. The unanswered letter and the silent phone share one quiet structure. Both hold the possibility of a person who has not returned. Modern messaging compresses that old waiting into seconds. The silence becomes faster, more visible, and easier to repeat. One chair lit, one chair in shadow. This is the architecture of no reply. And the tiny glow of the phone can become a private campfire for one. The pain does not always end when you stop looking at the screen. It can follow you into rooms where the other person is not physically present. An empty chair can appear at dinner, in a hallway, in the corner of attention. You may begin filling the silence with possible versions of yourself. Was I too much, not enough, inconvenient, forgotten, replaceable? These questions can be painful because they are questions about social place. The phone face down still glows underneath, like an uncertainty you tried to bury. A half-closed doorway can feel honest, not gone, not returned, not resolved. The unanswered message becomes a hollow shape near the chest. And the shadow of absence can grow larger than the person who is actually in the room. Still, the pain is not proof that you are weak. It is evidence that human beings were never designed to be socially weightless. To be noticed is one way we become real to one another. Philosophically, a person can be alive and still feel socially missing. Recognition does not create the whole self, but it helps place the self in a shared world. No reply can feel like a temporary removal from that world. That is why the empty chair can seem almost occupied by absence. The blank message bubble becomes a small moon, bright, silent, unreachable. Under every technology is the same human question: am I still included? Sometimes the pain reveals the depth of the bond, not the truth of your worth. The opening table returns, one chair lit, one chair in shadow. The reply has still not arrived, but the room is no longer only a verdict. The empty chair reveals an ancient need to be seen, answered, and held in mind. The phone dims and the silence remains human. Being ignored hurts because somewhere in us, being noticed still feels like belonging.